Hey folks, how's everybody doing? Can y'all hear me okay? Uh, Chuck, are you here?
Yeah, Tom, your sound is coming in great. How are you doing this morning?
Very interesting morning. I'm pretty pleased with what I'm seeing in the market. I last night we got long the Delta 10s in the futures, and the market's looking good and going higher. I
Yeah,
want to get into the slides because this is something that I've been wanting to do all year, and I've been telling you I'd do it. I'm doing it. So today's train and trade we'll get the experience, but there's a high degree of risk involved in trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results. In my opinion, I think we knocked it out of the park this morning. I think Jonathan told me we took 4 or 5 nice profits and pretty good stuff, in my opinion. All right, the newsletter is growing, growing, growing. I think it's about to go into the super, or let's just call it the afterburner stage. So if you're not a member of that, you ought to join. And that's about all I want to say about it. There's a slide link buck coming. These guys hadn't woke up yet. Give them a chance. All right, the retirement center is growing. Join there. Get into our Telegram channel. And thank you all those people that did over the counter at Tasty Trade and sent me your link. I hadn't had time to compile it yet, but I'll take a look. Okay. Sherry says she's had the best day she's had in a while. Going to referral, come to dtitrader.com, go to row at DTI Trader. Jonathan, are you here today? I didn't hear you check in.
Yeah, Tom, I'm here.
Okay. Uh, okay. Now, this morning was a blockbuster and open for all my trade services. I think people starting to understand when I say you have a edge with using the DTI approach. It's pretty wild. Look at this XBA. Look at that. 37% profit. John, we put that in last week, didn't we?
That, I
Somebody,
believe, was your T-Buzz Connect the Dots trade from last week. For
yeah,
sure.
somebody do me a favor and tell me if you made that trade. I gotta know if you're making money or just sitting there on the sidelines. Way to go. And who made money on that one? All right. See, I love that. Way to go. Junior, you're always hitting it out of the park. Way to go. Way to go, Marianne. Well, here's an update. I think, Jonathan, what we got here? I ain't even seen this. 33 closed trades in October, 29 winners and 4 losers. A couple of those losers just by a few pennies, by the way, 88% accuracy. Almost at 200 winners, 198, 31 losers, 1 break even, 86%. That's pretty strong. Pretty strong. The gold program, I've been through it 1,000 times. Save money, get in all my services. Rather than pay the retail, you get a wholesale price. Contact dtitrader.com/gold if you got any questions about it. It's a bargain, and you ought to take it if you're not a member. Train and trade, welcome. How about that? TQQ. Woo! I think you're starting to see in my retirement account, you see why I wanted to share that with you for no charge. T-Buzz Talking Trade got along TQQ this morning in the pre-market. Let me check it. Up a dollar, up a dollar. That's what I like. Up a dollar from this morning. DTItrader.com/TNT. Again, another membership you don't want to be without. All right, here's today's folks. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Let's take 10,000 in capital and how to probe on Monday to go full boat on Tuesday. This is a lesson I've been wanting to teach. And what you do if you got 10,000, that'd be, how much would that be if you put everything equal in a silo? I want you to do some math. You got 10,000 and you're going to put it, you're going to have it over 10 trades. What would that give you per silo? Which means basically you would put 10,000 in there, okay? $1,000 a pop, right? So we're going to probe it. I'm going to probe at 50%. If you divide 10,000 into 10 stocks, it turns out to be about $1,000. Okay. So how do you probe the stocks that I picked out? Monday's the probe day. Enter half your position size at most to test the market. Well, where would you enter at? And I told Jonathan the very simple way to do it, if you get a positive reference bar on these 10 stocks that I picked out, that triggers you into a probe on Monday. What's a positive reference bar? Where it goes higher than RB3, which means we've been higher than the first 30 minutes of the day. Everybody understand that? This is how you build this. I'm not trading it, I'm building it, okay? Higher high, higher low. Everybody understand that? I don't want to go further unless you understand these basic tenets of my approach. And we'll let Jonathan change the slide when he gets ready. There's the TQQ. We went $500 into TQQ at 10 minutes after 10. Does everybody see how that works? So the TQQ's probed in, right? Everybody say they understand it with a yes in the chat room, please. Bear in mind, I took stocks that I want to hold. These are not trading. This is the way I'm playing the last 60 days. By the way, we're going to keep up with this in our TNT and in the T-Buzz live trading, okay? All right, that's TQQ. It made the cut. If any stock goes above RB3, does not go below, we hold off buying until it does get above it, okay? There's an example of one that was one of my 10 that we didn't buy. Jonathan, I guess you should have put the 10 that I was going to go through instead of doing it individually this way. Okay?
Yeah, Ty, I wasn't sure if you wanted, that's for the TNT and live trading program. I didn't know if you wanted to share the 10 or not with everybody. I'll put a slide in there.
Yeah, put a slide in there with the 10
with
stocks I picked out. They can have it. But they don't get the management of it unless they're in those programs. Lynette, you asked a question. Have you read the white papers? You asked me where RB3 is, and I'm asking if you read the white papers. You got to put some effort in this, folks. This is we've worked for years to get this right, and I want you to make money, but you got to put a little effort. And the white papers tell you all those questions that you just asked. And it's worth your time if you're going to put money in the market. Cherry, I did 5. All right, let's show you. You want to show in the slide of all 10?
Yeah, I'm building it right now. We got a few slides we can cover before getting there.
Okay. Okay, now I will enter the second half tomorrow. What do you think the place I'd enter the second half? When I go higher Monday's high, I'll enter the second half. Now I can enter the second half anytime after 8 o'clock tonight. Everybody understand that? Okay. Now, as the months go along, we use the combination of my 3-day high algo and my Sawgrass portfolio technique to keep our winners and cut our losers. If you don't know about that, it's probably on YouTube. And yes, I'm entering now the ones that are above the high of the first 30 minutes. The trigger for me on these stocks is being higher in the first 30 minutes. Let's keep going. All right, here's the 10 stocks. The QQQ, the SPY, the TQQ. It'd be great if you could show this alongside a roadmap, and let's just check all these out real quick that way. You know, show a roadmap in these 10 on the side.
We'll go live here.
Now, this is just the first part of it. It's the probe, right?
Right.
Yes, you could put the custom page in there with RB and it would tell it and the high and low. I guess that's it.
This is good right here.
Yeah, you got it. All right. All right, let's look at it. QQQ, is it higher than it was the first 30 minutes? Is the QQQ higher than its first 30 minutes? Everybody's saying yes, so we'd be probing the QQQ, wouldn't we? That's $500 of our $10,000 that we spent. John, if you're gonna put a chart up, what are you doing?
You are seeing my roadmap, right?
I see your roadmap with the tickers on there, but I don't see a chart.
I'll explain it real quick. This column of this RB Trader feature, the roadmap, tells you what stocks are actively above their reference bar or below the reference bar. Now we're on RB3. You can see that at the top.
And what is this feature called?
This is called the RB Trader under tables. Great little feature. This morning when we entered the probes, the market's changed a little bit since then. The SPY was long, so we got a probe on SPY. TQQ and QQQ have been long the whole morning, so those are active.
Microsoft and NVIDIA.
Microsoft is that's a new one there, I believe. NVIDIA's or Microsoft may not.
All right, so we spent $2,000 based on 4, right?
We got QQQ, we got the SPY, we got the TQQQ. Let me check our message from earlier. Microsoft has been long. We got Microsoft. Apple was long when we got in earlier. It's pulled.
That's fine. We're long then, so that's Apple.
But NVIDIA is a new one, so we got to add NVIDIA here.
So I got 6 total. I got 6.
Yeah.
So I spent $3,000, and I will add to those tomorrow if we go higher than today's high. That's simple. It's a simple approach. Once we get 10, we will cross-check it once we get to the 3rd trading day of November. Now, I'm going to keep up with this in my live trading class in the afternoon at 1:30. So if you're not part of that and you really want to learn a technique for portfolio management, this is a great way to see it. Now, Robin, you're going to have to make that decision. Use your judgment. Is the S&P going higher? Or is it going lower? If it's going lower, you wait. If it's going higher, you know, why wait? Everybody understand how I answered Robin's question? She missed a couple of them. Do I wait or whatever? I said, use the S&P. Hold on. Okay. You just put it in my golf cart. I really appreciate it. No, that's not the red. No, that's the wrong red. No, that's the one, make marketing better. That. All right. So, all right, I'll open the golf shack. Okay. All right. All right. Thanks. Bye. Sorry, folks. The batteries in my golf cart were dying and they were replacing, and that was update. I'll be right back.
All right, well, Tom's gone. The 10 stocks here are listed, and a pro position have been entered into 6 of the stocks. They are QQQ, the SPY, SPY, TQQQ, Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Apple. If you got the alert earlier in the day, NVIDIA is a brand new one. So we have 6 now. These are not option trades, they're share trades. Probe means half position only if you're, do what Tom suggested in this presentation of dividing 10,000 into 10. That equals 1,000 at each. A probe is only a half position at maximum. So it'd be $500. Again, the stocks are here: QQQ, SPY, TQQQ, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Apple. Keep checking reference bars. It's got to be, so this can be done on any 10 stock portfolio. And where is that slide here? All right. If nothing hasn't, one of the stocks hasn't gone above their RB3, that's fine. Wait for the next RB, but it's also got to be above the monthly open or the weekly open, excuse me. So keep that in mind.
Does everybody see the steps to this? And the beautiful thing about it, I think this just increased the value of my T-Buzz live trading. What do you think? Me adding stuff like this. I got a lot of stuff I'll be adding live with you. But anyway, what do you think about this? Isn't this great? Now you got a plan and, invest your money when you get a situation like this. Now you heard me say that I thought the market was going a lot higher. And I think it was very, very easy to say that I think we're going to see 7,000 on this S&P, just a general, maybe 7,200. We'll see by the end of the year. So I'm trying to put a portfolio together for you using a 10,000, it could be 100,000 or whatever you want to be. But these techniques are the way to do it. And that's what I'm just giving it to you. Okay. Just where you'll have it, you'll learn this. And then you evaluate it with the 3-day algo each month. Okay. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. One of my guys, Joe, are you here? Joe Lease, are you here? See if Joe's here. Joe keeps track of all this stuff. And, you know, he came into this month up 22%, but he's been down for a one-on-one, coming back for another one. But Joe, when he sees something like this, he will take it and program it out and watch it and stuff. But he's been with me for about 5 years. And one of the things that I noticed about Joe is he's very meticulous about how he does things. And this is great. Yeah, Cherry, I'm using 10,000. It could be $1,000. You do 100. He says his accounts since coming one-on-one with me are up 35% now. You think it's worth being with me? I think so. Look at that, 35%. Way to go, Joe. Let everybody else see that. That's great. Anyway, I wanted to show this technique today. I've been talking about it all year. I thought today was the day to do it. Keep track of it. Now,